Hey, good Monday afternoon to you. So I'm going to point out a couple of things. First of all, the 8th day at or above 100 degrees, specifically on Sunday. That was yesterday. 102 degrees. If you were outside, you felt it. Upper 90s on Saturday. In fact, Saturday our high temperature was 97. On Sunday afternoon, just a little past lunch, it was already 97 degrees, so this was inevitable. And now, being that it's the 8th day that we hit on Sunday, we're now looking at the 9th day for Grand Junction at or above 100 degrees. Mid-90s for Montrose right now, low 100s at Delta right now. 9 days. My morning meteorologist, Chris Knoll, your morning meteorologist, told me we average about 5.2, 5.3 of these days, and we're adding them up right now. Not official, but 95 is our average high temperature in the afternoon for Grand Junction. 90 is our typical afternoon low temperature. I should say high temperature because the lows should be in the low 60s and mid 60s this time of the year. That's just not the case. High pressure system anchored over the southern border of Colorado. It's going to move around a little bit in the next couple days, but this is really just turning up the heat. Under this ridge of high pressure, a couple of things happening. We're actually getting a lot of heat out of the desert southwest. We're escalating our temperatures above the average for this time of the year. Storms are getting deflected to the north. Major storms are getting deflected to the north. So we're going to continue to see through the tomorrow afternoon hour storms ridging and riding down along the eastern periphery of our high pressure system. But in addition to the heat that we also have rain potential trapped in the atmosphere. And that's exactly why we're going to see storms initiating in the late afternoon hours from the heat of the day, from the mountain zones, both of which are great lifting mechanisms. A slug of energy from the north, another great lifting mechanism. But we're going to go with heat and we're going to go with mountain zones to get our storms going. So we have that chance this evening for some storms, but you'll notice the high pressure system today, it starts to shuffle a little bit to the west tomorrow. And in doing so, we get even more dry air. We don't totally eliminate our storm opportunities. We will still maintain late day storms, mountain storms. There's not a whole lot of drift coming out of those mountain zones. So drift over lower elevations, not exactly an easy thing to pinpoint, but it's possible. Now, as far as radar goes, let's take a look at what's going on. The overall picture shows just a couple of isolated spots to the north, a couple of isolated spots to the southwest, mountain zones being the preference. But I wanted to point out, Rangeley, you're in the clear now. Meeker, we're just getting on the backside of quick little isolated cells that pop through. And of course, our mountainous communities, and then right down from the flat tops into Glenwood Springs. No major concerns, but any of these storms could kick out a little bit of flash flooding, a little bit of flooding concerns, especially in the mountain zones, especially in the slot canyons. Now, Gunnison County, specifically Gunnison and the valley, we've been getting some storms rolling through in the last couple of hours. It's been enjoyable. Big batch of cloud coverage limiting the temperatures. Mountains of Uray, mountains around Norwood. These areas are getting some mountain storms popping up and moving. Lightning strikes, again, with this drier environment, lightning strikes could initiate a new wildfire. Obviously, that's not a human-caused wildfire. Forecast, let's get into the evening hours. Again, not a whole lot expected, but around the Plateau Valley, one valley south of us, we could see some storms moving through this evening. So there's that chance portions of Mesa County and the elevated sites could get some storms. We'll put these to bed quickly. We get into tomorrow afternoon, another round of scattered showers off towards the north. That's the Highway 40 zone from state line to state line, so west to east. Now, slug of energy coming through around the midnight hour tomorrow night. Timing on this is typically off. This far into the future, easily 6 hours. So we could be looking at these storms right around 5 and 6 o'clock Tuesday night into Wednesday. So something we will be watching for. The next 2 days, really, though, we're going with slimmer and fewer storms for the populated areas. But again, we are always going to keep these storms going in the afternoon hours. As far as hazardous weather goes, we don't have flood watches, thankfully. Flooding concerns still exist in the mountain zone, so that's something I want you to be mindful of if you're traveling or recreating. And then take a look at the temperature forecast. Remember, for Grand Junction today, while it's not official, our 9th day at or above 100 degrees. Looks like we're going to get to the double digits at the beginning of this week with more days of 100-degree weather, fewer days of late afternoon storms, though I won't totally eliminate that chance. Getting into the upcoming weekend, folks, models are still, there's big discrepancies. We still expect lower temperatures, increased wind speeds, and thunderstorm activity. The timing is off. If the high pressure system sticks around, then we'll go hotter with fewer storms then. But just count on hot afternoons and mountain storms on the move for the work week.